If you knew this, you wouldn't buy a Chevrolet vehicle, at least not one of these 5 models I'm going to talk about today. And there's one in particular that people have bought a lot, but there was a year when this model gave problems, and I'm going to tell you about it later. Get ready to know 5 models of the Bowtie brand that have caused the most headaches for their owners recently. The prices of used cars have experienced ups and downs, as you already know, in recent years. This has been like a yo-yo, or roller coaster as they call it here. But are used cars still a solid alternative? Because compared to paying the high prices of new models, obviously many people consider buying a used vehicle. Therefore, letting someone else absorb the depreciation of a vehicle can be a great advantage for used car buyers. But only if the used car you're acquiring or buying is reliable and in good condition. So, before investing a single dollar or a single peso, make sure to listen to this crucial information. Let's start with one that is one of your favorites, the Chevrolet Suburban years, 2021 and 2023. What's up with the Suburban? Well, although it is known for its ample space, comfort, in these particular years, they have had reported problems with their electrical and electronic systems and the suspension system. Also, many owners have had to deal with costly repairs. Heads up to those who are thinking about a used Suburban, this information is very important. As we know, the Chevrolet Suburban is a full-size civilian, very loved for its cargo capacity and for its comfort for long trips. Above all, is a delight, and I've had the opportunity to test one of the most recent models, and the truth is that driving it has a spectacular ride quality. However, the I models 2021 and 2023 have shown significant failures. Problems with the infotainment systems, also with the electronic system in general, have left many of its owners or drivers very frustrated. In addition, the suspension system of these years has been a weak point for the Suburban. It has had numerous reports of premature failures and quite costly repairs. Let's move on to Chevrolet's number 2 vehicle, another one you love a lot, the Chevrolet Tahoe, another one of your favorites. What are the problematic years? 2016, 2017, and watch out for this 2021. This full-size sport utility vehicle has been criticized for transmission problems and failures in its electrical system. The 2016 and 17 models have also had complaints about their build quality and durability. If you're looking for a used Chevrolet Tahoe, those years might not be the best option for you. Transmission failures are a common complaint, with many drivers experiencing inconsistencies in gear shifts and premature system failures. In addition, electrical issues from flickering lights to complete infotainment system failures have been frequently reported. So watch out for the Chevrolet Tahoe, but also keep a close eye on the third on our list, which is also a very popular vehicle from the Bowtie brand, and it's the 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. I recently had the opportunity a few months ago to test the new generation of the Chevrolet Traverse, the 2024, which I really liked. But there is a model now on this particular list that if you're going to look for a used Traverse, it might not be the best option. It's the 2018 Chevrolet Traverse from 2018. Although it's popular as one of the family SUVs for its space and quite convenient features, that model, the 2018, has had problems with the transmission and failures in the infotainment system. So, if you need a mid-size sport utility vehicle with 3 rows of seats like the Chevrolet Traverse, consider avoiding this particular year. However, as I just told you, the 2024 is very good, and that's one that I don't like to recommend vehicles directly, but the 2024 Traverse. The only thing I can recommend is that you give it what they call a test drive at the dealership to see if you like it as much as I like it, and I have a video that I'm going to link here that you can watch there. My review of the 2018-2024 model, in summary, it stands out for its ability to accommodate up to 8 passengers and its ample cargo space. However, these benefits are overshadowed by these mechanical problems I just told you about, which are significant and are a concern for many drivers. The transmission has been a constant source of problems, with many owners reporting erratic gear changes. Infotainment system has also been a source of frustration, as I've told you, with screens that freeze. And have you also experienced systems that reboot without prior notice? For example, the Chevrolet Colorado, one of the latest generation or the most recent generation. There were also reports of failed tests with the infotainment systems. And this is not suddenly the screen would go completely black, but well, before going to the next Chevrolet. If you're enjoying the video and this important list, then give me a like. It costs you nothing, and subscribe because you should subscribe. Well, it's not just to increase the list or the number of subscribers this channel has, although that helps and I appreciate it, but it's also the way the system works. The YouTube algorithm will indicate that you like 3D Car Power 360's videos, that they are to your liking. You find them useful, and so it will show them to you more often. If not, it will probably show it to you from time to time, but not all of the content. And I have very good content, releases, events, trips, very good accessories, so give it a like and subscribe. We continue. Now let's talk about the Chevrolet Blazer 2023. And although it's a slightly newer model, there have been reports of problems with build quality and electrical failures. For a newer sport utility vehicle like this, the reported problems are concerning. If you're drawn to the Blazer, make sure to do your research before buying a used car from that year's Blazer. The 2023, because it was launched with high expectations, promising great style and performance, and it has it. But the build quality has been criticized, with many owners pointing out the poor construction of their finishes. In addition, electrical failures, problems with the lighting system, and even malfunctions in the interior controls have been reported. So it has been a notable weak point for the Blazer. Therefore, buying a used 2023 Blazer could mean facing these little problems from the start. Note that the gasoline Blazer was replaced by the electric Blazer, also known as the Blazer and Bill. A model 2024, and we're already in 2025. We get to the next point with this 2019 to 2022 Chevrolet Bolt. How problematic was the Chevrolet Bolt? This electric vehicle has been problematic, especially with the battery issues that have led to multiple manufacturer updates. Some owners have experienced issues with driving range and charging, which could be a major inconvenience, especially if you're buying an electric vehicle, as range and charging are two very important elements in making that decision. With the Bolt from those years, be careful then. If you're considering a used Chevy Bolt, carefully check the maintenance history. The Bolt was Chevrolet's attempt to compete in the electric vehicle market. But those models from 2019 to 2022 had notable problems. The battery was a constant source of concerns, with many owners experiencing a decrease in range and inconsistent charging times. In addition, there have been several market recalls, what the rich call it, related to the battery, which has generated uncertainty and distrust among the owners. While the idea of an electric vehicle is attractive, because it is, these years of the Bolt present considerable risks. And we're talking about the Bolt with a long B. No, not the old 5-volt with a 5, which was another model I liked a lot, a plug-in. This is the Bolt with a long B. Absolutely. 100% electric, as we mentioned at the beginning. I have another Chevrolet model. Maybe this is the one you didn't expect because a lot of people have bought it, and it's the Chevrolet 2014 Malibu. Although it is known for its efficiency and comfort, the 2014 model had problems with the transmission and electrical issues. Therefore, if you're looking for a used sedan, consider other options before the Malibu. The 2014 Malibu is an efficient and comfortable sedan, but it has also been a source of frustration for many of its owners. Transmission problems, for example, have been a recurring complaint, with many drivers reporting abrupt shifts and complete failures. Moreover, forums and platforms have seen complaints regarding issues with its electrical system. So if you're in the market for a used four-door, the 2014 Malibu probably isn't your best option. So be careful. There you have it. We have the used Chevrolet cars. I think I told you 6. You should avoid these. You have to do your research. Obviously, yes, even if the model you're looking for doesn't appear on this list, it's always a great idea to perform a pre-purchase inspection before acquiring it. Is that so? It's my recommendation. It's important to note that this list is part of a Consumer Reports investigation, a highly respected entity that ranked the used cars to avoid focusing on reliability and maintenance costs. Now, how does it do it? Consumer Reports? Well, this is an explanation that I really like to clarify so that people understand the source of the information and how Consumer Reports goes about ranking these reports. Well, they use two methods mainly. First, they send out surveys to ask consumers about the overall performance of their vehicles. That's where they get a lot of the information. That's one of the main sources because they send, let's say, hundreds of surveys to the specific owners of the vehicles, from which they are preparing these reports. And when they receive the responses, when they receive those surveys and the results, they meticulously and thoroughly classify that information. The second method they use to verify these data is their own tests, which they carry out on a test track. Consumer Reports is a fairly large entity and has its own test track, and there they also realize or detect failures that they later report in their publications. When buying a vehicle, whether a Chevrolet or a used one, pay attention to all these recommendations. But also, if you are going to buy, when visiting a dealership for a vehicle of any brand, it's crucial to go prepared. Why? Because there, surely not in all, but there are some shocks. Some of the dealerships, some of the dealers. But well, tell me if you have any of these vehicles and what has been your experience. Do you have the Suburban from the years I mentioned? The Chevrolet Tahoe or the Malibu from 2014 or a Chevy Bolt or the Traverse from 2018? Tell me, how has your experience been? Good, bad? Has the transmission bothered you? The entertainment system, electrical system? Well, let me know in the comments how your experience has been and what you think of this list that I have given you. So if you're going to buy one, then obviously I reiterate that you do very good research because buying a used one can be a used car. It can be a very challenging task, but hopefully this information will help you make a well-informed decision. Very well. Subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. And over here I leave you the new one, which is really good. Take a look and another very interesting video. See you in the next video.